Good morning, Trade Pros. Good morning, YouTube. I hope everyone's having a great day, a great Wednesday. It's a rainy Wednesday here in Toronto. We've got overcast here. We've got some clouds coming up. We've got a lot here. We've got an eventful day as well, from what I can see in terms of this economic calendar. So let's go over what we saw overnight. We got a lot of price action overnight. We don't got the best volume though, so let's see what this brings today. In Asia, we saw Japan up 0.5%, Hong Kong down 0.3%, China down 0.2%, and India up 0.5%. While in Europe midday, London up 1.7%, Paris 2.4%, and Frankfurt 2.4%. Pretty substantial gains in Europe overnight. And we saw the Dow futures rip nearly 1%, S&P nearly 1%, NASDAQ is up 1.2%, while crude is up 0.2 percentage point, now trading about that same level. Now, NASDAQ here nearly hit that 12,500. We're trucking for that 13,000 level on NASDAQ, while the S&P is actually trucking for that 3,600 area. Very interesting. So in terms of news, we got a lot of news today. This morning we saw MBA mortgage applications at 7 a.m., 8:15 ADP jobs report, 10 a.m. factory orders. We saw Fed Williams' speech as well, or we will see Fed Williams' speech as well at 10 a.m. We got a big day in terms of crude oil inventories. We got crude oil inventories today. So we're going to trade that with the team this morning. And we're going to get a lot of potential movement at 10:30 a.m. where you could potentially make your weekly income, sometimes your monthly income, depending on the moves, in just 1 hour of the day. We've also got Fed's Mester speaking on the U.S. outlook and monetary policy at noon today. So it's going to be very important stuff. We're going to keep an eye out and an ear out on that, because what we're going to see is potential market stirrups, right? Outlook on monetary policy. We want to see the forward guidance that they missed out on the last Fed report. So what we're also going to see is we got a lot of Fed speakers today. Fed's Beige Book, we got also Kashkari's speech, and then Fed's Daily Dally, I'm not really sure how to say it, an economic framework for the future. That's later on tonight. What we also did see was the Dow and S&P futures, again, up substantially. We hit all-time highs. Also to that point, we saw tech has been a big driver of the gains in recent sessions, and Apple. So Apple is up another 2% overnight. We've got a pretty nice push pre-market on Apple. I want to pull it up for you guys so we can take a look at it. But let me see if I can type that while I'm in YouTube here. I just want to see what Apple is doing right now, because Apple is leading the way. We also see Tesla. We'll see Tesla, what Tesla's doing. We saw Amazon, Microsoft pre-market, all-time highs. So let's take a quick look at what's going on here. We saw more people rely on internet-connected devices for work, homeschooling, and communications. The remainder of this week will be dominated by employment figures. So we got the ADP report on private sector hiring today, and the biggest report of the month, we got non-farms this Friday that we're going to be trading with our elite team in the morning. So it's probably going to shake up the markets. We're probably going to see some movement in the morning. Right now, Apple is trading pre-market up 2.5%, 137.61. So pretty substantial increases. Thing keeps trucking along. For those who got those split shares who are still holding on, good for you, especially those option plays. That's going to be a real nice paycheck in the coming days. We're seeing it continuously push higher, 2.7% up now. So for more than a month since key provisions of landmark CARES Act expired, Democrats and Republicans have been at odds over the size and scope of another coronavirus stimulus package. So Treasury Secretary Steven Mnuchin is now suggesting a higher $1.5 trillion number for the Trump administration's proposed ceiling for a follow-on bill, while White House Chief of Staff Mark Meadows conceded in an effort to get a deal done to put more money on the table for cities and states. So Mnuchin also released a new estimate for the so-called Main Street Lending Program, which will make between 25 and 50 billion dollars of loans to mid-sized businesses in the coming months. So, in other news, the REIT sector is on watch after the Trump administration implemented a national uh, moratorium on residential evictions throughout the end of the year. The new ban covers tenants who certify that they have lost substantial quote unquote income that they expect to take no more than 99 that they expect to make no more than $99,000 in 2020 or receive the stimulus check. And they are making their best efforts to pay as much of their rent as they can. So the moratorium expires at the end of 2020. Renters who received protection will still need to make up missed payments to their landlords. So it seems like they're going to be helping out a lot of people here. We were very spooked that the eviction numbers will climb drastically in September. They were anticipating 20 million evictions in this month alone. However, of course, this new moratorium will help a lot of people. A lot of people don't make $99,000 in a year. And a lot of people are putting their best foot forward to try and pay their rent and make up for those missed payments. So this is a pretty decent thing that we've seen. In tech news, we've seen Google and Apple. They're building a COVID-19 notification system straight into smartphones, eliminating the need for a separate app and ramping up a new weapon in the effort to track exposure and infection on COVID. So future versions of iOS and Android will feature the new system that previously required an app made by public health authorities. The system will use Bluetooth signals from the phone that have opted in to find out how closely and for how long two phones were near each other without collecting location or identity data. This is big. So without collecting the location or the identity data, this is going to be very, very interesting for us to see. Now, to wrap this up, it's now trending lower, but the euro briefly rose above $1.2 against the dollar on Tuesday for the first time in more than 2 years, rallying nearly 12% since late March. So the euro dollar rate does matter, ECB chief economist Philip Lane said overnight, causing the currency to pair its gains. While the EU's rescue fund appears to have calmed any lingering fears of a euro breakup, Fed stimulus has weighed on the greenback and easy policies are being attributed to the downward cycle for a long period of time. We've seen President Trump has also criticized dollar strength due to the trade deficit though as the coronavirus crisis hit, he said it was a great time to have a strong currency, which may no longer be the case. Now, in the most recent news, Australia has become the latest country to enter an official recession, though the 7% GDP decline was a lot better than the COVID-induced devastation that we've seen in other economies like the States, which have contracted by a record nearly 33% in Q2, while the UK GDP dropped 20.4%. A record run of 28 consecutive years of economic growth has now officially come to an end, Australian Treasurer Josh Frydenberg told reporters. COVID-19 has wreaked havoc on our economy and on our lives like nothing we have experienced before, but there is hope and there is a road out. So seen many countries enter into that recession area. We've seen minus 30% GDP. We've seen minus 20% GDP in Australia is the latest to get hit. However, we will see. We're still looking at a market that's at all-time highs, and we're going to have to see how this plays out today. So if you guys want to learn more about that and learn about trade ideas, come and join us at Trade Pro Academy. We got something special coming for you as we continue to see this Labor Day turnaround in volatility and volume. Apple now up nearly 3%. So if you guys want to learn how to trade futures and options, come check us out. We'll see you guys shortly. Take care, everyone, and we're jumping in the room now.